A bombshell accusation from Capitol Hill. GOP Rep. Darrell Issa is blasting California Democrats, including Governor Newsom and Mayor Bass, by defining the anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles with one powerful word: insurrection. Issa is flipping the script on the very officials who've been downplaying the violence, claiming the protests are peaceful and blaming President Trump for sending in the National Guard. Their credibility goes with what you see versus what they say, Issa declared, asserting Democrats are literally lying to your face on what you're seeing with your own eyes. The California congressman revealed the truth behind Trump's intervention. Property damage and assaults began before federal troops arrived. And a critical detail: when ICE agents were being attacked, the LAPD allegedly took a shocking 2 hours to respond, leaving federal agents exposed. Though LAPD claims 40 minutes, the point of delayed response stands. Issa says Trump is doing a great job by taking strong action, preventing the chaos from spreading to other cities, learning from the failures of 2020. He then slammed the hypocrisy of Democrats, who used insurrection endlessly for January 6th, but won't apply it to days of rioting in LA, where people are directly assaulting property and law enforcement on behalf of criminals. Newsom's claims of a military dragnet are untenable, Issa argued, because video evidence from cell phones is exposing the truth. The visual proof of violence and the delayed response by local authorities expose a failure to do his job by the governor. Issa warns that the American people will see this failure when Newsom tries to pretend he was a good governor. This is a high-stakes battle over who defines the chaos gripping Los Angeles. A House committee hearing just took an explosive turn. Democrat Congresswoman Linda Sanchez drew audible boos after making a shameful sexism remark to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. During a tense exchange on President Trump's tariffs, Sanchez claimed prices are rising on many everyday goods, alleging Trump's tariffs cost households an extra $3,000. When Secretary Bessent attempted to interject, Sanchez abruptly cut him off, stating, "Please don't interrupt me. I know I'm a woman, but please try to limit yourself to answering my questions." That remark immediately sparked groans from the hearing room, with one attendee audibly reacting, "Oh, come on." Sanchez doubled down, saying, "No, I'm sorry, but we get talked over all the time." Secretary Bessent, who was openly gay, did not address the gender accusation, instead focusing on defending the administration's trade policies. When Sanchez insisted consumers were paying more, Bessent retorted, "That's incorrect," and criticized China for not meeting agreements under Biden, which were enforced under Trump. Sanchez then slammed the China trade negotiations as rushed and a poorly negotiated trade deal. Bessent defended it as an initial step, calling China an unreliable partner. The exchange was repeatedly moderated by Chairman Adrian Smith, trying to maintain decorum. The moment quickly went viral, with the White House's rapid response account weighing in, calling the Congresswoman's behavior shameful. This dramatic clash highlights the intense political tensions simmering in Washington. A shocking new poll reveals that a majority of Democrats are giving a thumbs down to their own leaders in Congress. According to a new Quinnipiac University survey, a stunning 53% of Democrats disapprove of their party's lawmakers in Congress. Among all voters, congressional Democrats' approval stands at a dismal 21%, matching an all-time low since 2009. This comes as the Democratic Party finds itself in the political wilderness after losing the White House and Senate last November and barely holding on to the House. Republicans even made gains with traditional Democratic base voters like Black, Hispanic, and younger demographics. An increasingly energized Democratic base is furious, demanding a stronger stand against President Trump's agenda. Their anger isn't just aimed at Republicans, it's also directed at their own party leaders who they feel aren't vocal enough. This internal turmoil has sent the Democratic Party's favorable ratings to historic lows in recent months. Meanwhile, the same poll shows President Trump's approval rating has also slightly declined to 38% nationwide, down 3 points from April. 54% of voters disapprove of his performance. While his numbers were initially above water when he returned to the White House, they have since dipped into negative territory. The political landscape is shifting, with discontent brewing on both sides, but especially within the Democratic ranks as they grapple with their recent electoral setbacks and an energized opposition. Joe Rogan is dropping bombshells. The podcaster just claimed that 2 former U.S. presidents actually called Spotify to protest his controversial COVID-19 commentary. Back in 2022, Spotify faced a firestorm. Critics accused Rogan of spreading COVID misinformation, with Neil Young famously pulling his music in protest. But Rogan says amidst all the chaos, he heard, "Neil Young wants me removed from Spotify." I was like, what the fuck is going on? Then came the shocker. Spotify got calls from 2 former presidents, Rogan asserted. Even the Biden White House, through then Press Secretary Jen Psaki, weighed in, urging tech platforms to do more to call out misinformation. But here's the twist. Instead of being silenced, Rogan's audience exploded. "I grew by 2 million subscribers in a month," he revealed. People started listening, discovering he was really reasonable and pretty humble, just asking questions. Rogan also slammed the media's relentless attacks on his use of ivermectin, dismissing it as horse dewormer. He wondered, why aren't you guys concentrating on the fact that a 55-year-old man is fine 3 days later during the worst strain? He called the whole experience a wake-up call about the dirty liberal legacy media. "I used to have massive respect for journalists," he lamented, "now seeing a world filled with money-hungry demons that are willing to sacrifice human lives." Despite the immense pressure, Spotify CEO Darrell Issa stood firm, stating, "We don't change our policies based on one creator, nor do we change it based on any media cycle." This controversy truly opened Rogan's eyes to what he calls the true nature of the media.